Let's do it. What's up? What's up? I'm adding Miss Keila. What's up? How y'all doing? We about to go live. Get this started. Okay, invite. Have a we have a great show for you. I'm about to invite my partner. We're about to get this podcast started. All right, tune in. What's up? How y'all feeling? Tonight, we're gonna have some authentic, honest, transparent conversation. And we're going to just trade some perspective. We came up with this concept, me and my homegirl Keila, just having some introspective, transparent thoughts, and we thought that everyone needed to hear it. And also, we invite y'all to chime in. Let me see. Let me try to send it one more time. All right, cool. And if you haven't already, I want y'all to follow We Need Each Other podcast. We Need Each Other podcast. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Keila De La Cruz unable to join. Okay, we're gonna get this right. Don't worry about it. We're gonna get this right. We're gonna get this right one more time. Hey. Drum roll.
What's up?
Keila De, what's up, baby? How are you?
What's up? How we doing? We live. We back. And
All right. We back for round two.
Round two, baby.
Yo,
I'm thankful.
Cool. You look great.
Thank you. Likewise.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm super duper excited. Yo, before we get started, I just want to shout out to everyone who tuned into the last show and all the love that we received, all the people who messaged me, and the people who just keeping the conversation going. I think the beautiful thing about this, we're setting like a narrative for a conversation that we're having, but I'm sure it's being played out in other circles. So shout out to everybody having healthy conversations and admitting that we need each other.
So much gratitude in that. You know, we really, really appreciate all the feedback and all the love. My DMs were on fire. You guys are appreciated. And I'm just so happy that you guys can relate, because we are really having those tough conversations that people tend to hide away from or run away from. So we're here. We're being open and honest with you all.
Absolutely. First of all, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Feeling great. Doing great. Looking great. How are you?
Say that. I'm great. I'm here. I gave my update last show. I said I had to go to ATL. Come see my mom. I took the time to heal. My mom is being the most supportive person I can imagine. I'm tapping in with my aunts. I'm tapping in with my cousins. I saw she's, I guess, my great aunt. She's like 90 years old, and so it's
what a blessing.
I'm surrounded by love.
Mother, no, there's nothing like a mother's love. No offense to the fathers, right? But there's just nothing like a mother's love.
Nothing like
that warmth, you know, that's just that love, and a hug from your mom will change your whole mood.
Absolutely. So real quick, let me just wave to everybody who's in the chat. Just wave to everybody. What's up as y'all coming in?
No.
So one thing that I really internalized since I've been here with my mom, you know, I've been laid up. I have a fractured foot, as many people know, and it was hard for me to kind of, I say, like, accept the help. And I always thought that men are where our services dictate on what we can do. And I realized my mom just wanted me to just be here, you know, just literally just being in her company, talking and stuff like that.
Babe.
Yeah, but I felt like I was kind of useless because I'm having women open doors for me, and I'm having women carry my stuff.
Oh, so you felt like the tables turned a little bit?
Yeah, yeah. I feel like
what's wrong with
it's hard for me to accept it when you kind of been doing a certain kind of thing. As men, we think it's all about muscles. We think it's about what we can do for you. That's what
Right.
it is. And I really had to take a lesson in me being a man. As you said on the last show, me being a man sometimes it's just your presence.
Absolutely.
Sometimes it's just being a listener. And it's not all about the muscles and me being of service. So I'm having really a lesson in patience and humility, and also even more so, it echoes the sentiment that we need each other, even in the smallest ways.
Even and you know, you said something very important there. We need each
Hmm.
other in every single capacity and every single relationship. Just not, oh, I need you as my partner, but we need each other for our moms, our fathers, our siblings, our cousins. We need each other, both male and female. You know, so with that being said, you've learned a lot during this time. What does that mean to you? Like, as a man, what does that we need each other mean to you?
I'm finding out the different ways. Like I said, I thought it was like very men do this, women do this. And I felt like because I couldn't do the things that I used to do, like I can't um, carry a bunch of bags right now.
Mm-hmm.
I have two crutches to my. I have a crutch on one side, and I got a crutch on the other side, so I can't carry bags. I'm having women opening doors for me. So, like I said, it's a thing in humility and
Mm.
understanding that when we need each other, it's on sometimes a very basic level, on a very human level, and that's all. It's just a lesson in humility, a lesson in surrender,
Mm.
and
Mm.
then
Good
also
word.
yeah, and also understanding that you won't be down forever. So even if someone picks up the slack or you need someone this time, that may just be your time because you need someone at that time. And
Absolutely.
then it'll flip to where they'll need you, or they may not need you for what you think they need you for. Like I said, me and my mom, we was sitting down and we was going song for song. She was showing me a song, put me on some music. I was putting on some music, and we sat there for like 2 hours. And that's all she needed. She didn't need me to open doors. She didn't need me to carry her
Present.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
so it's a reminder of that.
definition of partnership, you know, not
Mm-hmm.
just with your romantic partner, but anyone can be your partner, right? You have partners in business. Your friends are your partners, strangers are your partners, people at church are your partners. It's just being there. Just like you said, connecting human to human. I think a lot of people have a hard time with just the word need. It's like that word is attached to weakness. It's like is they have such a hard time with saying I need you or I need help or I'm not
Mm-hmm.
okay now. I need X, Y, and Z. And I can relate. I can absolutely relate. I mean, I think it's human nature. None of us like asking for help unless you're one of those people who likes to use others, but no one likes to say, you know what? I need you right now or I need the help. But
I
it's
need it.
so important. It's so important to admit it. It's so important to say it because I will never know that you need help unless you tell me. And then sometimes we don't ask for help and then we get upset when we don't get the help. It's like, how are we
Say,
supposed
hence the reason for this podcast. We came up with this concept because we were just trading perspectives. And I knew that not only did the world need to hear these different perspectives from an honest, transparent place, but in terms of examining um, how transparent I can be in terms of saying and practicing saying I need someone and saying it publicly too. Because I think,
to?
like I said, men need to state that publicly or be vulnerable or let people in. And like I said, hence the concept of this podcast, just talking about how much we do need each other on a real level, even if that's just your perspective or just you sitting there listening. We need to talk about that more.
Yeah, so many people are stuck on the I don't need you or I don't need anyone. I could do it by myself. And here's the thing, whether you realize that you need someone now or 10 years down the line, you're always going to need someone.
Mm,
The reality is no one wants to be alone. Everyone craves
mm,
partner in some shape, way, or form. So,
mm.
all that to say we need each other.
Yo, and in my DMs, a lot of people, more so males, was hitting me up saying, "Yo, we need this. We need to see this." Some people don't have examples of healthy relationships, or some people are really feeling a deficit when they turn on TV or they watch this interview, and a certain narrative is being painted. So we're here showing them a healthy exchange between two people, people that champion that in the most beautiful way. So all the people who are connecting with that vibe, shout out to your relationship. Shout out to the people who are committed to being honest, committed to being transparent. And shout out to people who are strong enough to say, yo, we need each other.
Absolutely. And shout out to the
No
people,
praise about it.
because it all starts within. People going to therapy, people seeking a stronger relationship with God. That's where it all begins. So shout out to all of
Mm.
you guys.
You know, and I think one of the greatest things that's coming from this podcast is this is seeming to be like a theme in my life now. So from last week's show on Tuesday, I've had conversations with my uncles, with my cousins, with my mom, and it's stemming off of what we was talking about. So I'm having these vulnerable conversations. One with my uncle yesterday. He's my younger uncle. He's in a very beautiful, successful relationship, and I'm there taking notes from him. I'm writing down as he's talking, and one of the things he had said to me, he said, one of the keys in his relationship is when you are talking to someone can say something in a certain tone, and it'll kind of be off-putting. He said he takes the time to find out what his woman is really saying. She may say something that she say it a little abrasive, or she may be a little emotional, but just in maturity, he was like, okay, I have to really take time to say what she's really saying, because what she's saying is she's telling you something, she's communicating something. But if we get caught on the delivery, or we get caught on how it's being said, maybe it's not the right words, we'll lose what the person is actually saying. And it happens all the time. Now I'm off of a cliff because you said it the wrong way, and I don't even want to hear what you said. It's like, all right, cool, but
I'm so
you
focused on
get,
the fact that you said it with a tone. I'm so focused on the fact
yeah,
that I felt disrespected. So I didn't even hear the message you were trying to deliver, because I'm just stuck on
yeah.
that came with that message. That's
Right.
powerful.
I
Powerful.
needed his perspective, and it's like I said, this is my younger uncle kind of schooling me, and as he's talking about his relationships, I was like, all right, cool.
Wait a minute.
I'm
Wait, what was that? Repeat that.
where I'm telling you, I
That's
was
so
taking, but we need each other, and we need to be intimate. We need to be honest. So on that, I was about to have a question forcing you to be honest and intimate. Is that okay?
that's fine.
Is that okay? All right, cool. So we're gonna just shoot for some questions. I got a couple here, and of course you can uh, put them right back on me. And
Know it. Absolutely.
okay,
Because we need both perspectives.
absolutely. All right, so cool. One thing that I think that men would like to know, three things that ignite romance, and then
Mm.
we'll also go on three things that kill romance from your
Mm.
perspective.
From
Give
my
it to me. Go ahead.
This is really good question. These are really good questions. Okay, so three things that ignite romance. First of all, let's just say how much I adore romance. That's number one, right?
Okay.
I think what for me, number one is just well, number two, because I said number I love romance, number one. Number two, being completely raw, honest. Like that raw honesty, just that's no biggest turn on than just you being completely raw, open, and honest with me. I feel like once you give me that, you get everything.
That lights your
You,
fire.
yes, absolutely. That just does something because there's respect behind honesty. When someone lies to me, I feel disrespected because you lied
Mm.
to me. But when you can just sit there and be completely honest with me, whether it's something I want to hear or not, there's respect, there's love, there's romance. That's just going to take us to the next level. So that's to me, that's top tier.
Mm.
Two, like just making time for each other. I'm really huge on spending time together. I don't care what we're doing. I don't care where we're at. I don't even care if we are driving up and down the street. But if we are together, there's nothing more lovable for me in that. Like, I just want to be around you, be in your presence, and just affection and love and deep conversations and all of the above. Like, that is so romantic. And
Mm,
reassurance, reassurance. That is, for me, that is very romantic when no matter what's going on in the outside world, no matter what type of day we had, we can reassure each other that I'm here for you, you're here for me.
mm.
That is so romantic, that is so sexy, and that is so important in a relationship because there's so many things going on at work, grocery store, social media, and everywhere we go, there's just a lot of different encounters that we have with different people that can affect our mood, our attitudes, our mindset. So just coming back at the end of the day to each other and just reassuring each other that, listen, I'm here. I'm yours, you're mine. That is so romantic for me.
I'm learning it's the simple things. It's not what we think in our head as men. We think it's a huge equation that we have to
Yeah,
do
let's
these grand
do this. Yeah, think that
gestures.
you have to go to Mars and spend a week there and then come back down and then go back up and bring us the moon. Yeah, I think that is so much. And it's so simple. It's so simple. It really all starts with just you being yourself, you doing the inner work for us because we appreciate that.
Awesome answer. Awesome answer. Awesome answer. Let me freestyle three. I think someone who has a great memory, someone who pays attention to detail. You know, if you remember the date or remember something I kind of said and you pull it out like, "Ha! Remember uh,
Mm.
2 months ago you
That's
said you
fun.
like silver pens or you like this shirt." So a great memory to detail, someone who kind of remembers, and y'all women are usually good at that.
Oh,
That's
absolutely.
that's romantic as shit. It's like I forgot that I told you, but you still remembered.
Oh,
Top tier, top tier.
so
What else is romantic? Woman that's comfortable in herself. Not hide too much. If she's silly, she's a little nerdy. Like just be the nerd, be whatever it is. So someone who's just comfortable. That's romantic as shit. That's I'm like, all right, cool,
like
and it
confident.
makes all right. Yeah. I guess you could call it confidence. I would say just in terms of yeah, that's good. Someone's confident in whoever they are and how quirky it may be.
Right.
Seeing again, it's a simple thing. One more. What is romantic? Food. Food for me. I
Love
know
food.
this sounds crazy.
Yeah, I love
I'm
cake.
sorry. Yo, we that is wrong. And then also someone who pays attention to what you want. That's again paying attention to detail. And just a woman feeding you in general. There's something like spiritual about that. It's like I'm here to nurture you. So
Mm.
it's more than just food. I'm giving you sustenance for life.
Yo, yeah, I really love to. Oh my God. Okay. That's fun.
Yo, yo, shout out to
But
everybody who's pulling up
I'm
to the
surprised
live.
that you said the reassurance, no, which is the first one that you mentioned. Someone who just pays attention to detail because that's so important for us too. And again,
Mm,
we're so easy to please. Like we don't ask for our own. Every for me as a woman, everything that I require, I can reciprocate. So that's why for me it's very simple because you give me 10,
mm.
get 20 in return. It's
Woo.
in our as women, it's in our nature. We want to cater to you guys. We want to take care of you guys. We want to be lovable, but we need that in return. You have to provide that safe, again, that safe space. You have to provide that for us.
Mm. Amen. Amen. How they say? Uh, I give you groceries, you give me mail. I give you sperm, you give me a baby. Like y'all multiple.
Multiply.
Nah, for real. Like I said, we think it's usually huge things. Sometimes just like I said, someone just being comfortable in their skin, cooking a good meal, or being attentive. I
Yeah. Yeah.
so what's one thing that kills your fire? We need to know that. What do we do as men that is like we may not know that we're doing, but it's like,
Oh, you know what? When you cannot take accountability for your actions. When you know you did something wrong, or even if you don't know you did something wrong, but if we mention it to you, we're telling you like this bothered me or this hurt me, and you're just kind of like dismissive, like making it seem that I'm just overreacting, or the famous term, you're being crazy. When you cannot take accountability for your actions, that is probably one of the biggest turnoffs.
okay.
When you cannot keep your word. I don't care if you tell me that we are going to Target, especially Target, at 7 p.m. on Thursday, and you disappear. Hey, babe. Oh, no, it's no hey, babe. You didn't keep your word. That's a turnoff. Even if something came up, I'd rather you say, listen, we're not going to make it out. Like, we're not going to Target tonight. I can't. Something came up. I'd rather that than you just disappearing, or you just not keeping your word at all, or thinking that you can come around later and everything's going to be back to normal.
Makes
That's
sense.
such a turnoff. And it makes and what's a relationship without trust, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I remember my mom used to say, I quote my mom a lot. I quote well, my mom used to say, just be honest. Like if you don't have it, or let's say you have bad credit, or let's say you're in between jobs, a woman cares more about you being upfront and honest. At least first she knows the role that she has to play, where she has to probably help you out. But the second that you front, or the second like you act like it's something different, that's when you lost your credentials with her. All
Absolutely.
kind of credit goes out the window. So that's
And we're going to question every single thing that you say after that, no matter how big or small it is. We will question everything because you start to lie.
mm. Well, what's something else that we do that just grinds your gears? We
Let me
need to
see.
hit, yo. We need to hit. You are right now. I'm being the archetype for all men in the world. You're being the archetype for all women in the world, and you're their mouthpiece right now. What is something that us men do that's
That
like
irks our nerves. When you forget things, and you guys,
like
sometimes it's out of
like
your, sometimes you guys can be very forgetful. But when we are having a deep conversation and I tell you, I share some intimate experiences with you, or some very special moments from my life, and then you just not so much forget it, but you just don't acknowledge it. You know what I mean? Like if we're having a conversation and I am being completely honest with you and open, and I don't care if you judge me or not, I'm just giving you my all, and you kind of just don't really care.
okay,
Like to you it's not as important, or you're not as into the conversation, and you're not engaging with me. That is such a huge turn off.
okay, I got you. So now to piggyback off of that, just I don't want to say playing devil's advocate, but one thing, when a woman wants to talk and you don't want to talk, or if I'm in my own zone and I'm doing something, whether it be work or I'm watching a game, I'm just doing something that is clearly I don't want to engage right now.
That
When a
there
woman comes and they
that
force you to engage, like, I want you to be in this conversation with me. They're like, chill, like, all right, there's a time for everything. So
well you
maybe
can
he's
do
just,
that. You can do that.
we just want you to know that we're in front of the TV right now. We don't want to hear you talk. Like, it's obvious. Like, and then when you engage, when we're not investing in that conversation, oh, now we're wrong. So,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
yes.
Because what if I got something important to say? Oh, you better
Yo,
put your attention to me real quick. Or you can say, listen, babe, I'm watching the game. We'll talk.
check it.
Is it are you about to die? No? Okay, can I wait after the game? Just say that, but don't pretend like you're engaging with us and then it goes in one ear and out the other. That's
Okay.
I
You have a point there.
Yeah, that really like makes me so upset.
I like that. I like that. Don't pretend you're engaging. But now, speaking from the man's point of view, you just think that you're supposed to get it. So hold on, real quick. There was something
Something's going
that,
on with the internet, I believe. Some people are having.
yeah, I see. I'm sorry, Lioness. She says I shall watch the playbacks now. Let me see. Sorry, sorry. But yo, shout out to everyone who can see. Thumbs up in the chat if you can hear us. Thumbs up. Somebody give me a thumbs up if you can hear us.
And shout out to
Um,
everyone who will watch the play.
okay. Real quick, you sent me something, and I thought this was worth saying. I want to kind of start the conversation off this, but it's all right. Said let's normalize asking questions for clarity instead of moving based on the story you've created in your mind, which may or may not be true. Clarity preserves relationships. So that goes back to the just communicate what it is. I'm the assuming is I assume you know I don't want to talk. I
Right.
assume you can tell by my body language that I'm doing something right now instead of just being transparent and, like I said, not pretending to engage. So we're supposed to come to you and say, listen, I don't want to talk right now. Is that
It's
is that
important.
better than
Yeah, that is better. And it's important to learn each other's communication styles, right? Everyone
mm,
doesn't communicate the same. Just the same way that and not everyone can comprehend what you're saying. So it's very important to learn your partner and learn each other's communication styles. And even have that conversation. Like, listen, how do you want me to let you know that I'm in a bad mood when that does happen? Because it's not always going to be happy times. We're not always going to be on good times. We're not always going to be lovable. So when I'm feeling upset, sad, depressed, angry, how do you want me to tell you? How do you want me to explain that it's not even against you? It's just something that I'm dealing with personally, maybe. Or maybe something that happened while I was out in the street, anything. But how do you want me to deliver that message for you not to feel offended?
absolutely.
I think those conversations,
Absolutely.
I don't think a lot of people have those conversations. People just assume.
Right. No one's a mind reader. Yo, we already 27 minutes in. Look at that. So real quick, shoot your question. What you got for me?
Okay, so since we were speaking about spicy, do people in a relationship that you are obligated to give your partner sex? Listen to the words though. Do you feel like
Mm,
obligation just because you guys have a relationship or maybe perhaps a situationship, which are never healthy, but to each his own? Do you feel that you're obligated to give them sex or that your partner is obligated to give you sex?
are you obligated? Like I said, that's a strong word. That's a strong word. We kind of touched on this a little bit, but it's a strong word. Obligation. That's kind of like you're obligated to pay for this. You're obligated to do this. You're obligated to do this. Versus, I like the word that you had used, a requirement versus the obligation. I love how you had placed that. So obligation, no, you're not obligated because you can do whatever you want. You can walk out the door. You cannot come back. You can keep your pum pum to yourself. You can share it with me, but you're not obligated to do it. There is a certain expectation. I think that's probably a better
Mm-hmm.
thing. It's expected, especially if we're that's a level of intimacy that we are trying to cross sexual contact and that closeness. It is essential. Is it an
Mm-hmm.
obligation? No, I don't want to use the word obligation. Um, what is the other word I used? Not requirement. There was another word I just used. I don't remember.
You said
It's
requirement.
expected. Well, it's just expected. I think. I think expected in terms of where we're at in terms of intimacy. But I do believe sex, conversation, everything is just totally up to you to share, and that's what makes it a gift. That's what makes it a gift. Saying, "I want to share," and I'm like, "Oh yes, I want to." You know what I mean?
And you guys,
So real quick.
And you guys are like, oh yeah, I've been wanting this gift.
Yes. So it's expected. It's an obligation that's very strong. Um, but yes, I do enjoy that level of intimacy, and also it's about procreation. So real quick, obligation. What do you think?
Absolutely.
Are you obligated?
Absolutely not. Let me just make this clear, right? First of all, I feel like the word obligation or obligated, it just does not sit well with me at all. That term, that is too close to forcing me to do something. That is too close
Mm,
to non-consensual. And at the end of the day, I'm my own individual. I own these body parts. You're your own individual. You own your body parts. We know
right.
when we come together in a relationship, like you said, it's an expectation, absolutely. Just as I expect my partner to respect me, I expect my partner to be loyal to me, I respect my partner to give me affection and to have sexual intercourse with me. Absolutely, we're in a relationship. That's what people in relationships do. I'm obligated. I'm not obligated to do anything. And I think a lot of people get that confused, like, oh yeah, you're my girl, like you have to give me some tonight, or you have to give me oral sex. I don't have to. And for me, if you're my partner, I want you
Uh-huh.
to stimulate me sexually, but also mentally and emotionally. And there might be times that I don't want to have sexual intercourse. So if you are down for the sex, you should be down for me when I'm not feeling well, when I'm not in the
Right.
mood. Because usually there's other things tied into that. We go through mood swings.
Mm.
We have our lady days. Maybe I just want to lay down and be left alone. Or maybe we just had a heated argument and I don't like you right now. So I don't want to give you my body. And I'm not obligated to.
Say, obligate your mama.
Right.
But that goes back to that. That's why it's a gift. It's a gift because you're willingly give it to me. And anyone with anything, not just with sexual intercourse, if you don't want to give it to me, I don't want it.
It's,
And
it's,
that's and that's across the board. That's across the board. Yo, we're already 30 minutes in. I know we want to kind of come and give the vibes. Let me before we get out of here. First, I can sit and talk all day. I know you have a busy schedule.
I
I know
do.
you
I'm
got some.
flying out the country.
Say that, and I know you got to pack, but I got one more question. Let me see.
Here we
All
go.
right, so no, it's not deep. Real quick, I think it's important for men to receive, well, both, to receive compliments, words of affirmations, and sometimes men don't receive it. Sometimes we don't know why we're being loved. We think we're being loved for our money or what we can do. But
Mm.
just real quick, tell me three things you love about men, and it doesn't have to be nothing deep, just in general. Um, and it doesn't have to be a romantic thing. It can be just what do you love about men in general? Go.
I love when a man takes charge. Like just
Okay.
take charge completely. I don't want to know anything. You're gonna just take charge. You're gonna take care of everything. And not only in like money. No, just taking charge of planning a date, of the household, of me not feeling well. You're just taking charge. You're catering to me, kind of, in that sense. I love that in a man. I love a
Mm,
man family oriented,
mm,
not only with his own family, but with mine too. And last,
mm,
I love a man who's hardworking. There's nothing more attractive than a man who goes and gets it done and provides for his family. And even though he's exhausted, he gets up and he do it again. And not only is he hardworking, but he's also present. About, oh, I'm working so hard here, I'm paying the bills. No, but he's present in his family's life. He's present in my life and his children's life, etc.
mm. Yo, I think people need to come to our podcast with a pen and a paper, and they need to take some game because we're giving them game and things that we don't hear all the time. But it's beautiful. I love women again, that attention to detail. I love that y'all women Y'all seem to have great memories. Y'all, the little things that we don't. A lot of times, men worry about the bigger picture, but the small details, the the beautification. So we're worrying about just building the home. In terms of the interior decorating, I love when women bring that to the table. I think y'all have a great eye for detail, a great eye for detail. The things that just slip our mind. So that's again the balance. That's the balance. I
We
love.
add that soft touch.
Right. Yeah, like I said, sometimes we just want to make sure it's done. Sometimes we don't care how it's done. We just want to get it done. So I love that women pay attention to how it's done.
Mm,
And that's something that I'm like, okay, cool. Because that's the masculine feminine balance.
yeah.
Um, I love a woman that travels.
Hey, shout out to my travel girl.
A woman that travels. And so, but speaking in general, I love women who are just really know how to nurture,
Mhm.
really know how to nurture in terms of and that goes again with paying attention. That goes again with paying attention. And yeah. So I was trying to make it general in terms of women in general, and then I got like specific. But women who are pay attention to detail, who even if I take a big part of it, the woman who can kind of pick up the pieces, and the woman who can yeah, and a woman who's well versed in terms of many different cultures, traveling kind of gives perspective. Someone who can add a great perspective, and I love y'all for that. Y'all give me great perspective. Y'all are mindful and y'all are detail oriented. I love y'all.
That is dope. I want to add, here we go. We always say one more, one more. I want to add one more.
Yeah.
I
And good.
A lot of us women, we appreciate a man who just lets us be ourselves. It don't matter if we're weird or awkward or hyper or funny or crazy. He just lets us be ourselves. And, because nothing good comes out of controlling. When a man tries to control you, he also tries to manipulate you. And that never leads to anything good. So for a man to be like, yeah, that's my girl. Yeah, she's a little crazy, but that's my girl. I love her for that. I met her like that. Let her, like that to me, that is so, that is so adorable. That is like the best. Like you're letting me be myself. You're not trying to change me. You're not trying to control me and I know that we
Mm,
work with a lot of women because the moment you try to tell us what to do and how to do it, we're going to run into some conflict.
mm. So
Period.
allow you to be yourself in all greatness. Yeah,
Absolutely.
I want to shout out to everyone who's watching this live and everyone who's going to check it on the replay. Um, y'all are dope. Y'all are awesome. And we kind of want to just provide a vibe online. So many times narratives are painted, whether through this news broadcast or this show, and they have us talking about stuff that really don't relate to us personally. We're here arguing, this person said this person said this, and personally, they are no use to us. So I think the purpose of this is to just create a narrative that can keep on be talked about from a healthy standpoint, but also people can personally benefit from it. So
Absolutely.
shout out to everybody who's engaged. Um,
We
yeah, like I said, whether it's checking on live, whether it's checking on replay or checking on YouTube, feel the vibe. And
And let us know what you think. Let us know what you think because that's also important. Your opinions are important, the feedback. And we just really appreciate you being here. We're just being open and honest and just sharing our perspectives. And we hope that it touches a lot of lives, it touches a lot of hearts, which it has been off to an amazing start. Super grateful for that. And there's so much more to come.
all right. Yo, always got something extra. Real quick, I took feedback from someone. Someone said they love our podcast, right? They love our talks, right? Someone said you need to talk about both sides. Y'all talk about stuff from a healthy standpoint, but you need to talk about toxicity also. What do you think about that?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, so you think we should bring that into our talks as well from both
Yeah,
sides, not only from a loving, healthy standpoint?
that's part of every single relationship. You go through toxic. Absolutely.
So it's authentic. Okay.
And
My response was
today though,
yeah.
when you said what's something, you know, that initiates romance and what's something that kills romance. So we kind of went into both sides today.
Balance,
I think,
balance, balance.
yeah, because people need to know. It's not, like I said earlier, it's not always going to be happy times. Listen, when one thing that I do not like is people faking for social media perfect relationships. There's not one perfect relationship exists out there because none of us are perfect.
Mm. Sometimes I think it's about a healthy thing and health, but I think more important is about authenticity.
Absolutely.
Authenticity.
And you're not always,
So,
it's important to always remember, you may be madly in love with your partner and you may always love your partner, but you're not always going to like them. And you're not always going to like what they do or what they say. And love and like
that
completely different things.
that part. I also want to invite people who are either married or in a committed relationship to kind of join us. We'll have them as guests so they can give us that balance, that both sides, a relationship from a whole standpoint, not just the good times. So we invite people to kind of share that with us as well.
I
So with that being said, I go by the name of Classic. For the people who don't know me, I'm into having beautiful talks all across the world. I personal trainer and group fitness instructor by trade, but my passion is to get in front of people and speak life into them. I use fitness as the way of doing that, but I love doing exactly what we're doing right now, being open, honest, transparent, and just speaking life. So, boom.
For the people
Just
who don't
introduce.
know me,
Yes.
people who don't know me, I'm Keila, aka Killa K, right? We just came out with that nickname. You know,
Gang, gang.
gang, gang. I'm very passionate about deep conversations and just really sharing perspectives and just picking each other's brains and mindsets. And obviously, I'm passionate about traveling and women empowerment and fashion and just celebrating life and being surrounded around great, genuine people. I don't want anything else. I don't want to be around no one else. I just want to be surrounded around good energy, positive people, loving people, people who want to see me do good, and vice versa. And that's all. And that's why we're here. We're here. We just want to spread love, spread realness,
I
and you
love
know,
it.
platform that we can change, heal, and break those generational traumas and generational curses because it all stems from that, especially in our culture. And I think this is so needed for both male and females, especially from the Black and brown community. So we're here for you guys. This is for the people, by the people.
For the people by. So real quick, let's just end on gratitude real quick. One thing you're grateful for, and then we can get out of here.
I'm grateful for life. I'm just grateful to be here.
Amen. Amen. Simple as that. I'm grateful for just the support that I'm receiving. Um, whether from my mom, from my friends, from my aunts is really amazing. And right now I'm tapping into my family, but I'm more than ever. I don't say more than ever, but right now I'm just in a grateful space for my family and the amount of support.
That's awesome. One more, because we don't really
Yeah.
touch on this. We got to be grateful for social media because it connects
Hey,
souls.
hey, say that. Say that. This talk wouldn't
My
take
God.
place.
What else?
What's the last thing you said? Go ahead. It broke up a little bit. What's the last thing you said?
I said I dropped the mic.
Oh, come on, walk away. Drop the mic and collect the offering. Yo, this talk has been dope. This talk has been awesome. Keila, have a safe trip.
Thank
Do
you.
your thing. And we'll tap in sometime next week with the people.
Yes. Overseas. We will tap in with
Oh,
you overseas.
that's fire. All right,
What was,
later.
wait, what was it?
Pew, pew, pew.
Bye,
Yeah,
y'all.
talk to you later. Peace. And that's a wrap.